We are on our final Thai recipe from Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and this one's going to be Tom Yum Goong. I feel pretty confident in that pronunciation. Anyway, it is a hot and sour shrimp soup. So first we need to make a stock with the shrimp parts, and then after that's done we'll strain and we'll add in our other ingredients. Our very first step here is, like I said, to make the stock, and we're supposed to use the shells and heads of shrimp. Really hard to get fresh shrimp. So none of them had heads, and most of what we can get is already pre-cooked. So that's what I'm doing. I took the cooked shrimp, so that's one step out of the process that we don't have to do. We don't have to cook and clean. But we're going to take all the tails off of these shrimp, and you at least use that. So it's not going to be as, I think, deeply flavorful as the recipe is going to call for, but as always, making do with what we can, right? So we're just going to finish deshelling these shrimp while that water comes up to boil. And then we can move on to our next step. Now, while our water is also coming up to a boil, we're going to go ahead and prep the rest of our ingredients. I'm going to cut off the back end bits of these, and I'm just going to cut these down a little bit so they fit in our pot a little bit better. These longer ones I'm going to do thirds. And then I'll note our substitutions now. So a couple things, as with all the other two Thai recipes, kaffir lime leaves, impossible to get. Everyone online is just like, it's out of season, I can't ship you anything. I was like, okay. So we're going to use lime zest. Some websites say you can, some websites say you can't. So we're just going to do it because we don't have any other alternatives. Calls for no specific chilies, but we're going to use serrano peppers, because that is the upper limit of my spice tolerance. We're going to keep about half the seeds. As I learned in my previous recipe, keeping all the seeds is a bad idea for my mouth. So we're going to use about half the seeds from these 10 serrano peppers. Galangal, also not possible to get in my area, so we're using ginger. Again, some websites say you can, some websites say you can't use ginger as a substitute for galangal. Make do with what you can. This, we're just going to slice it. Not sure how thin or thick we're supposed to get, so I'm just guessing. And you know, I'm just hoping we're somewhere close. We'll leave it like that, I guess. And then I think that's all the substitutions that we need to make. In the meantime, I'm going to get to taking care of this. And it is a long process of zesting these limes, so we're going to cut. Our water is boiling, so we're going to go ahead and dump our shrimp tails in there. And I'm going to let it boil for about five minutes, and that should be good enough to make our stock. Our 5 minutes are up, so we're going to fish out the tails. Normally you would strain it, but I feel like I don't need to strain it since I didn't have the heads in here, it's just tails. So I think we're probably safe there. We're just going to get these out, and then we'll move on to our next step. Okay, so we switched to a smaller pot because I didn't like the depth of the water we were getting, but now it's time to add in our ingredients. We're going to add in our lemongrass stalks, our lime zest, in place of lime leaves. Ginger in place of galangal. And our chilies with about half the seeds removed. And we are going to let this cook for about 5 minutes, and then we can add the shrimp. Our 5 minutes are up, and we're taking it off the heat and adding the shrimp. And then we add our chili paste, fish sauce, and the recipe calls for the juice of 4 limes. I had to turn the fan on while that was cooking because the spiciness was getting in the air. It was kind of starting to choke me out a little bit. As we've discussed before on this channel, there is very poor ventilation in this apartment. I remembered I have this little juicer. And it says to add all these ingredients until it tastes right. So I'm just going to add about half of those limes, give it a taste test, and see how much more lime we want to add. Okay, I've added about half the limes. I'm going to give this a good stirring. And then after everything's looking incorporated, I'll give it a taste test. Whew, man, those fumes can really get you. I think this is pretty well good and mixed in. Let's go ahead, taste the broth. I'm gonna think, whew, yeah, that's a little spicy. I'm gonna go ahead and add in the rest of the limes. I think I want to go a little heavy on it, and then we can give our final taste test of the whole thing. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a good serving. Oh yeah, okay. I think that's got a little bit of everything for us to try. We got our Tom Yum Goong all finished up. It smells hot and about to sneeze, hot and spicy. Yeah, whew. You get a lot of that citrusy smell too, so it smells delightful, but the spice is really strong for this white boy. The broth, really heavy on the citrus. Maybe didn't need to add all 4 of the lime juice, but all 4 limes worth of lime juice. We're gonna try a bite of shrimp now with some broth. Ooh. The texture and the temperature-wise cooler shrimp, because when we added the shrimp after it came out, tastes really good. I think it kind of balances out the spiciness just a little bit. You know, sometimes something cooler helps with the spiciness for a moment. So the bite with the shrimp's really good. I am nervous about biting into one of these chilies, but gotta try it all, right? Well, Thai food is everything I was always told it was. Spicy. Very spicy. It's good. It's great. I love it. I just don't quite have the tolerance for it yet. It's a very simple dish. There's not too much that really goes into it. A few ingredients, a small handful. It's a great soup. I don't know. I don't know if I personally would add anything to this. Maybe like an extra vegetable in here, just to break it up so it's not just like, I don't know. I don't know if you're supposed to eat lemongrass or not. I didn't Google it. So if you're not supposed to eat that, then really the edible portion of this is your soup and your peppers. I'm struggling. I'm trying to get through this. All in all, whew, a few seeds in that one. That lemonade really helps. This is this is great. Whew. All right, we're gonna have to end this. I'm starting to leak through my nose. So, great recipe. I gotta say, the fish cake's still my favorite Thai recipe from this series. Whew. But I'm really excited, as I love seafood. It's probably one of my favorite. Like I don't know. Seafood's my favorite. In particular, shrimp. So I'm really excited about this. I don't know how I'm gonna choke down this entire thing of soup by myself, but we're gonna try. So thanks for joining us. This was the last Thai recipe. We've got one recipe left in the Indiana Jones series, and then we're gonna be moving on to the next series.